From our studio in New Orleans, Louisiana, my name is Harmon Dash with a Make It Fair response. Last week, I had former state and federal prosecutor Glenn Burns here to discuss Senate Bill 185, currently being considered by the Louisiana legislature. It would give New Orleans the chance to address gun violence in the city. We got some lively reaction to our video and thought we should take a moment to speak to some of the comments. We'd like to thank any of you who added your thoughts on this topic. We appreciate all who engage in meaningful dialogue, even when we aren't all on the same page. In the interview with Mr. Burns, we discussed the ordinances the city is hoping to enforce, none of which will affect the rights of responsible, law-abiding gun owners. These ordinances would provide law enforcement better tools so that a gun owner who's been irresponsible with their firearm may be held accountable for their irresponsibility. Like a vehicle changing ownership, local law enforcement would like to keep track of any point of sale in order to get a clearer picture regarding how a firearm ended up in position to be used to commit a crime in the first place. Will these measures totally solve gun violence in New Orleans? No, but it's a step towards trying to lower the overall death toll the city experiences due to gun violence. I'm certain all of you will agree gun violence is a problem that plagues New Orleans to a degree infinitely greater than anywhere else in the state. As our viewer George pointed out, the ordinances we're discussing in the video have already been passed by the city. However, Louisiana state law precludes these measures from being enforced. That's why we at Make It Fair support Senate Bill 185, allowing the city the jurisdiction to try and effect change rather than our current setup, which suggests what's good for Alexandria is good for Monroe, is good for Lake Charles, is good for anywhere in Louisiana, including New Orleans. Our viewer Stephanie suggests we have a people problem, and Stephanie, we don't disagree. In this context, though, the problem could be defined as a people with guns problem. Do you or any of our viewers have any suggestions towards fixing this people problem? We believe if there are consequences for irresponsibility, the law-abiding gun owner who might otherwise not have concerned themselves with either safe, proper storage or where a gun goes should they choose to sell it privately will take greater measures to ensure more guns stay in the hands of the law-abiding. This should drive up the cost of obtaining a gun illegally by those who might use a firearm to commit a crime, eventually so much so that it may no longer be a viable option for the criminal element, who can now obtain a gun so easily due to a market flooded with access. Again, these measures won't fix everything, and the progress may even be small and slow-moving. But we can't even begin to address the issue of gun violence if we do nothing. So, if the measures discussed in our video won't stop you from owning a gun, but at the same time effectively save a few lives, perhaps a growing degree of lives as time marches forward, shouldn't we at least try? As a country founded on the rule of law, are we really so paralyzed by the problem that is gun violence that we simply can't try to do anything about it?